plane to this area in Arizona, which is near Sedona. And this particular buttress that we saw across the way, we saw from some distance, about 5 miles back or thereabouts. And it was real striking. This is in Red Rock country. And no doubt we'll be seeing a lot more of these types of things. Okay, we're at our room in Sedona. Outside and in the far distant view are some Red Rock type of things. Locally here, there's a combination of grass and gravel running around. The local airport is about a tenth of a mile away. We can hear some of the jets going in and out. This is the back courtyard area of the place where we're staying in Sedona. You can hear a jet in the background over at the airport.
Cool, Daddy.
Yeah. No, wait for a minute. Stay here for a minute. The place where we're staying is up on a hill. The airport's up here too. And this is one of the views from an area where we're staying. Things here are a combination of grass and cactus, sort of red gravel. How things were growing here with the grass and with everything. If you look closely there, at the bottom of that particular tree there's a hose and a spigot to feed water to it. There you can see the hose and the little spigot to put water to the plant, and they probably certain times of the day or whatever turn it on to water the plant. And it's just all over the place are these bushes in this back section. Maybe they're eventually going to put grass in here. These don't seem to have any of those sprinklers. This is back in the section where we're staying.
We were living.
Yeah, this is where we live. Sunday morning, and we're in Sedona, Arizona. Stayed here last night, and we're near the local small airport. The city itself sits down there. The airport is up here at a higher elevation. At night, the city down there with the mountains behind it and stuff looks just like Aspen does. The lights and all. It's Red Rock country, and you can see all the good red rocks all over the place. This place is called Cottages at Coffee Pot. This is the entrance. And sitting right up behind the entrance is that. And nearby over here it looks like they're doing a recreational center, setting up some tennis courts and maybe a swimming pool over there too. And then further down over this way there's some construction going on of houses and biggies too. Real nice ones. There's a couple more decent houses, and looks like a water tower up behind that one.
Can I go right over there?
This is Oak Creek Canyon. Some birds down below.
What? I don't see any. I don't see a sign.
It comes up from Sedona, which is around 4,000 feet. Up here, I guess it's about 5,500, 6,000 feet.
1,000 feet down for no rock. Zoom.
Hunchbacks.
You can't miss all the film.
Okay. It's Sunday and we're at Walnut Canyon National Park, looking across the valley. The key there is that down at the bottom of the picture are some of the ancient houses and ancient ruins. Trying to figure out how they got there and wandered around. The canyon drops way down. Top here is around 6,700 feet. And when most of the people come by here, at least uphill, they're puffing. Some idea of what they did. They walled off some sections. They didn't dig too much deeper, apparently, and walled off the sides and the front.
Come on.
You can see the overhang of the caves here. You can also hear a storm moving in.
Come on.
That's the visitor center.
Mommy, could I have Daddy, could I have your can? Could I use the can back for a little bit, Dad? Dad.
About 100 feet above the stream bed, when pulverized and mixed with water, the clay produces satisfactory mark.
Did you guys see the little doorway in there? Oh.
The foreground is lava from a lava flow from Sunset Crater. This is the Sunset Crater National Park, and you can hear the thunder in the background. It erupted in about 1100.
I love them. I can run out in the rocks and...
You can see the depth of the things around here.
Excuse us. What's down there? Can we go down?
City of Great Mountain, by the way. Consists of a hotel, a couple of bars, and a couple of restaurants out in the middle of nowhere.
Even a couple of little boys.
That was
the storm cloud we're trying to photograph here.
This is the Glen Canyon Bridge. Down below is the Colorado River. And over in that section, there are some boat tours going in and out. And further on downriver, you see the walls of the canyon. Down below are the generators. And then the dam itself. And behind the dam, Lake Powell.
Just a few minutes, our 15-minute movie, Adventure in Glen Canyon, will be showing. If you'd like to view the film, please be at the auditorium. The auditorium is down the hall from the main visitor center and to the right of the gift shop. Thank you.
Further out there in the background is the marina, I think. Way down in there, that's where we're going to go for a boat tour, and I think they do swimming and things like that. Below Lake Powell in the lower left-hand corner, you can see what looks like a city and the dam. And then Lake Powell stretches behind. Downstream from Lake Powell on the left is the canyon,
This isn't a Grand Canyon.
which then opens out into the Grand Canyon. Here from the outside down the river. And a little bit better view of the bridge going across. Some of the tourists. Their hats are really interesting.
I see some ink on your map.
Seems convex down here.
There's one of the raft boats down on the river it's looking back at the dam right now. And we've got a slightly different view looking down the river. Down at the bottom of the dam, looking upward. Over to the right is the area where the generators are located. The squares that you can see here are entrances that they go in and look at some of the channels inside the dam. The generators are spinning due to the height of the water, and the water flows past a rotor. They put out 13,000 volts and they generate power. There's a total of 8 of them down the line here.
other power lines in an interconnected power system. Downstream to the left, or east side of the canyon, you will note a tunnel. This is a service entrance to the canyon floor for transporting heavy equipment into the power.
13,000 volts up to 345,000 volts before it's sent out on the power lines. Over there's a little hole in the wall where the trucks go in and out from the bottom of the dam. It has about 8% grade going up its long length to get to the outside world. And there's some holes in the wall of the canyon for, I guess, for breathing as it goes along the canyon. Down below is a spillway area over there by the boats where they can discharge excess water in case there's flooding upstream. It's in the rock along the side here, and the dam itself is actually fitted into a slot in the wall of the dam. I have a feeling those anchor bolts go in fairly far to take all the forces of the dam and the water. It appears to be fairly deep right here, but as you look out toward the center of the stream there, it doesn't look very deep at all. You can see the bottom fairly easily. I'll throw another one.
Why?
We're near Waweep Lodge on Lake Powell, and there's a marina here. And we're about to go out on a boat trip for about an hour or thereabouts. You can see the lake and the peaks sticking up out of the lake, and a lot of houseboats sitting here in the foreground. And long distance there's some other peaks poking up over there in mesas. Gene dragging Mikey up. A little bit of drop off there.
They filmed about 65% of the biblical motion picture entitled The Greatest Story Ever Told. And they filmed it there at the base and behind Castle Rock. Now you may wonder how in the world they could film a biblical picture with all this water here. Well, this movie was actually made about 2 to 2.5 years before there's ever any water in Lake Powell. And this is all dry desert for wonders of the world. Also the destination of our half-day and all-day tour boats. It lies about 5 miles to the left-hand base of Navajo Mountain, which is approximately 51 water miles from here. If we were going there today on this boat, well, it'd take about 8 hours to get there in one direction. 1,282 feet above sea level, just 2 feet above a mile. The entire butte has been used as a landmark and a guidepost to find an old river crossing established about 25 miles upstream.
Den är byggt av bäcken och skrivet. Det kommer stå. Det är byggt just det var stor så plats där. Ja, just det var byggt. Nej.
Lake Powell, in the direction we're looking right now, is sort of west. And pan across and eventually start picking up the lake. There's the marina down below. Lake Powell itself. We're up near the not a peak, but we went up from the dam to a view spot over here.
Yep. I got you.
We're on down to the right here now. Is the Glen Canyon Dam sitting there, and Colorado River down below it. Buttes seen above the lake. Down there was used in the movie Greatest Story Ever Told before the lake had filled up. I think it was used as Mount Sinai. It's Tuesday. We're in Zion National Park in Zion Canyon. This area is called the Court of the Monarchs. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning and we've got some good shadows still on the mountains. This is looking in a pretty much westerly direction. Deep valley going back there, a canyon. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. There's a river down in front of that, those mountains called the Virgin River. And we're going to be going upstream on that Virgin River today to walk into an area called the Narrows. One thing the valley has here, which is really nice, is tremendous vertical types of things. Just goes up and up and up and up and up. This is looking east, across from the area you just saw before. Looking even further up the canyon to the north, there's some more peaks. In the valley, looking up at Angel's Landing, and we've got a better idea of what people are talking about now with the Razorback. Razorback is in the middle right-hand side of the picture, and it goes across from the area over on the far right. And there were some people that went across there a little while ago. I don't know if there's anybody on there right now. I don't see any, but that's the Razorback. It's about 20 feet wide in some areas. There are chains and various other things to help you along that because it gets freaky narrow. And it gets shaky coming down rather than going up. Right now I don't see anybody walking along there. And there's the top. We're up near the entrance to the Narrows. And this is the river that we're going to be walking in. I guess in is literal. I haven't checked it yet to see how hot or cold it is. The general idea though is to walk in the river and it gets narrow and you get that above you. Looking further, this is looking right now upstream. Some of the areas. Move over here just a little bit. That's the gorge that we're going to be walking up. Trail to Lower Emerald Pool right now. Not quite sure what that is, but it's across from, we're across from Zion Lodge. Michael calls his view. It's looking toward the northeast from the Emerald Pool Trail. Up above us here, we think what we see up there is called the White Monarch. We're not sure yet. We're going to have to find out. It's also to the northeast. It goes out ahead and on the left side of the river is this. Continuing on our way up to right now Lower Emerald Pool. We're in the area of Lower Emerald Pool, which isn't particularly very emerald right now. Looking up, there's a lot around here.
That thing's triangle. All the way across. That's it.
We're above Middle Emerald Pool. And we just noticed over in that area, the arch on the top of that, near the top of that formation over there. So what? I don't know. This Upper Emerald Pool. And it is up. It's concave.
Did you do my shoe, Mommy?
Jag ser det.
Did you get Sarah, Richard? Yeah. Get the bear!
We're partway up the trail to Hidden Canyon. Across the way is Angel's Landing,
We're going on Angel's Landing.
and there's the Razorback.
Beautiful one down there. Is this one yucky?
Entrance into Hidden Valley right there.
Little hole.
And the trail comes down like that.
I knew we should have left the
Hidden
map.
Canyon goes back in that direction.
We should have left the map, right, Mom?
Oh yeah, so people are starting across now.
Daddy, where's the Razorback?
Straight out and then down.
Okay, let's go. I got a picture of a tiger. What's this? What's this? I don't see any Razorback.
And up to Hidden Canyon. She's come around the corner over there and she's on her way down.
Daddy, why can't we go over by Mommy on the trail? It's easier to see her. Daddy, I want to see what's on the trail a little bit.
She's about to go into the shadows over there.
Daddy, why can't we go in the shadows there?
There's the up from there. Get a little bit of the idea idea of the down from there. This is the view from pretty well up.
Or an apple or grapes?
The trail to Hidden Canyon.
Okay. Can you see it?
Oh, I'll run it back.
Angel's Landing across there. Valley down below. A little squirrel of some sort, or a chipmunk running around there. And out across the way is falls coming down off the mountain. Looks like going up to Hidden Canyon.
Hold it in. 1 minute.
What might be?
Down. Step down. I just see Mikey foot.
Near the bottom of the
What's
hike
mud on my head? I'm sweaty.
going up to Hidden Canyon. And we went up this area here and then up behind that thing that juts out. And then eventually Gene went to the area poking out right over there. It's Thursday morning, and this is, I believe, Sunset Point, or Sunrise Point rather, at Bryce National Park. Looks like it's going to be a cloudy day today, for the most part. Some of the people taking the trail down there, I think it's about a 1 to 2 hour loop. There you can see what happens to the rock, starting to fracture and break up, and eventually all that will fall off.
side and all the way down to the bottom.
How? How, Mom?
You're not careful.
I'll go all the way down to this bottom.
Following is from Paul Winter's Canyon Suite. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We're down at the bottom of Sunrise Trail, and that's Queen Victoria right there. And it's just starting to rain. We've got our ponchos on, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, for camera.
Back at the top, it rained like 3/4 of the way up or so. The area that we had hiked down into, where Queen Victoria's garden is, and those types of things. I'm a little bit out of breath. Over in the distance there is Sunset Point, and you can see the trail going down from that area, and there's people walking along. I think that's the Navajo Trail going down into the valley or canyon. Brim around 7:15 in the morning. This is Vista Encantadora on the north rim of Grand Canyon. He's looking sort of either south or southeast. Across on the other side is the Painted Desert area. Yes.
There's more roots than over there. Many things you see,
This is looking up the Colorado at Desert View.
Oh, look a little up. 300 last time I was there. Sandbars. You're gonna wait to look up at it, right? Everybody's head out. I figure we can drag right there along this.
This is looking westward.
Here, Sam. On Flatwater. We'll be there. It looks low, doesn't it?
Where's this overlook?
I mean, we don't get to move it.
Did you see? I see Thomas.
Point. Nina's taking a look at the rapids down there. There's some Unkar rapids, I think they're called. They're class 6 rapids. There's rapids in a couple places on the river there that she's looking at. Class 10, I guess, is the worst possible, and then it goes all the way down to class 0.
I'm gonna go take it to
This is the view from Yaqui Point.
what I understand they caught.
In the evening at around 7 o'clock.
We were driving on the highway and this big old truck was right beside us.
I would move over a couple lanes.
This big old truck, this big old truck
I'm coming down!
This is also the view from Yaqui Point, a little bit more toward the west. You can see some of the trails going down from the north side, making their way down. Some switchbacks over there.
Sí, la misma impresión dará de ahí enfrente.
Yavapai
Go all the way.
Point now.
There's people down there. They walked all the way down this canyon. Don't you think that'd be a long walk? It's 10 miles.
Looking down below is the Kaibab Trail.
Yep.
There's one part that goes out to the point.
Right, so see these in it?
Yeah, do you want to look at that?
And we're not sure how the trail gets down
That one over
to the
there.
river, whether that's a trail going down through there. Through that
What?
valley down to the river, or whether that isn't the case. To the right, you can see the suspension bridge further over.
What? I don't see the trail. I gotta look at it.
The trail is loaded with people. There's tons of people on the trail.
Suspension bridge is down there,
Tons.
You see, you know what the trail is, the line?
and we believe that Phantom Ranch
I can see it.
sits down in there.
Yeah, I think it's a solid on this one. Look at that.
The Right Angel Trail goes up that valley. You can see the trail just about in the center of the picture there. And further up.
Jetzt in der ersten Klasse wohl gedacht. Ist ja wieder Hufeisen ausgesucht. Ja.
Phantom Lodge down near the bottom of the picture and going up the valley. And following along the ridge there. The North Rim Lodge we can see with binoculars. And it's somewhere over in there. I can't see what this, other than the fact that it has a blue roof, blue or blue-green roof. And it's probably over somewhere in there. Show better. I'm standing by the El Tovar Hotel looking down, and what we thought before was a Kaibab Trail is really the Bright Angel Trail going down there. There's Indian Gardens sitting there. There was a group of people in through there walking. And there's Indian Gardens. There's a split in the trail going off to the right is the trail that goes down to the river through that notch. And then the trail to the left is the one that goes on out to the plateau, clear out there, and to the point out at the end. Taking this not for any special trails or anything, because it just plain looks pretty looking at this direction. A Bright Angel Trail looking out toward the point. Looking in a more westerly direction, relatively near the top. back over there.
We went down to the
tunnel.
Why don't we just be with this?
This is a view at about 5:45 at night from Hopi Point,
Yeah.
looking to the west. This way is pretty much to the north. To the northeast. This is called Trail View, I believe. See portions of the trail at the beginning.
Here's a bus.
Get some perspective. There is the tunnel over there. And then further down, is another section of the trail.
That's about a fourth of a mile.
Down in this direction is a continuation of Bright Angel. Going on down toward Indian Gardens.
There you go. And dan kun je al niet dat tempo dat je
Starting from the lodge over there. Trail cuts over to the right. And back there. It's down there and then starts into some switchbacks to get through that section. Goes further over. Down through there. And through that section. In that section, which I think might be Indian Gardens. Trail going to the river drops off to the right. Trail going out to the plateau point continues out there. So we see the canyon at around 6 o'clock at night. To the west it's redder. To the east it's whiter or brighter.
Are we going back to another place?
Finally over to the beginning. And we've got the lodges and things over there.
Boy, whoever's
Somebody's running. I see him, he's wearing white and he's running up.
This guy's wearing white.
He's going just around the
He doesn't want to miss the sunset, I suppose.
the bend there. Holy cow.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So long.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Mommy, are we going to
Looking for another group that was down on the trail there.
There's a whole bunch above them. I think a lot of the Jeff.
Mesa Verde near Cortez, Colorado. In addition to having various ruins, it also has a lot of people. This is Spruce Tree Palace or something like that. Spruce Tree Ruins.
T-shaped doors. Shape was apparently a matter of personal preference. Each type having advantages and disadvantages. During cold weather, animal hides or sandstone slabs, such as the one leaning against the wall, were used as doors.
door.
Peoples who are believed to be descendants of the Anasazi. In modern Pueblos, groups of men and women form special societies to care for the spiritual needs of the village. These societies have several major concerns: ensuring favorable growing weather, curing illness, guaranteeing successful hunts and harvests, bringing about village harmony and perpetuation of the people. When no ceremonies are taking place, the kiva may be used as a work area or as a social gathering place. It is assumed that kivas have similar functions in the family.
Just because you can.
They do vary here.
It's deeper back into the cave. Inhabited by the Anasazi Indians from around 1150 AD to about 1300 AD. They were agricultural people. They may have moved down to New Mexico. Around that time there was a drought. There was a lot of stress on the group apparently. So I think they may have moved to New Mexico. It might have been some of the forerunners of the Pueblo Indians. Small pit about 2 or 3 feet deep. And over these pits, houses were built out of brush and wood and those types of things. Center area on the right was a hole for a fire. The area right there where the rock is indented may have been for grinding corn. Those types of things. And there was another chamber sitting over here. Generally, again, brush or wood above these structures. This was in the era of around 450 AD to 750 AD. In the modified basket maker period, they call it. Just below the rim of this canyon is a structure called Square Tower House. It had about 80 rooms and about 7 kivas. see that the Indians built a lot of their huts under the overhangs. Across the canyon from here you can see 3 ruins, and since there's people on the other side looking over here, there's probably some ruins beneath us that we don't see. We saw the first one there. Looking further along, there's a second set of Anasazi ruins sitting over there. And then further on down, if I can see it, there's a third set sitting down in that overhang area down there. On the other side is the Sun Temple, which is a ceremonial type of structure. There's some other interesting things down below it. And the one we saw over here before, I guess, is the largest structure, and that's known as Cliff Palace. And Mikey are walking around on the building that it's called the Sun Temple. They don't know too much about the building. It was never completed, other than the fact that it appears that over in the southwest corner there was an equally nocturnal sundial.